Well, what do we got? About 4.5 weeks until Selection Sunday in college basketball. We'll sit here at 10 and 13 on the men's side. 7 games left on the regular season schedule. I hear Paul Weir every week. He's got 7 different media obligations between coaches, show, and all this stuff. Is it incumbent upon the coach or the players, you think, the rest of the way to turn this thing around?
I think it's incumbent upon everybody. At some point in time, you can coach all you want, but the players have to go out and do it as well. Unfortunately, the way Lobo basketball has gone this year, I think there's plenty of blame to go around for everybody and plenty of opportunity for everybody to maybe have a hand in trying to get hot going into the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's one where college athletics, we always put more on the coach because they're student athletes, but there's an element that there's pride, and they're there because they play basketball, and they can play basketball at a high level. So I think it's one where what Coach Weir said this week about trying to keep focused and just keep grinding is a message he has to present to try to keep those guys focused, because I think it's harder for a college athlete, because we've all been there. You're 20 years old, you're seeing it on social media, or like, when's the semester over? I want to go home. So there's a lot more to deal with, even a pro athlete who cashes out versus a college athlete.
I think we had a conversation this morning about this season, and I think any Lobo basketball season that you find yourself at 10 and 13 is going to be disappointing. This year there was more weight on basketball because of everything surrounding the program overall. Football's had 2 3-9 seasons, all the investigations, everything else. And then the Paul Krebs indictment that comes down last week. I think this university and really this community was starving, expected something positive.
I was going to say, and that's the other thing. Expectations were high coming off of last season, which was something of a surprise. And with all the new players coming in this year, expectations were high. You're right. UNM was counting on a big season, from attendance and to try to get some of the headlines off of those other things that you just mentioned. And unfortunately, you haven't had that, so it just continues the string of bad headlines and, less than popular publicity.
And I think it's one where, for this Lobo basketball team, I don't think any of it was too high or the bar was set too high with what they did the end of last year, who was coming back and who was coming in. So I think that the frustration is right from the fan standpoint, but it's always one I like to talk about. It's preseason polls. We let polls set our expectations way too much. Like, this team is picked 3rd. Right now they're 6th. They're terrible. I think we need to let our eyes tell us a lot more. And our eyes with this basketball team tell us that.
Great when they were 9th and then they finished 2nd and they were great.
Our eyes with this basketball team tell you they're talented, but they're flawed. And I think that is the real story as opposed to where they were picked in the preseason.
Salvageable this season.
I mean, I guess you could have a situation similar to last year where you get hot late in the year and make a run in the tournament. But, I don't know about you guys, but we've been calling on that the last 6 weeks now, and you really haven't seen any signs of that. So at some point in time, do you continue to hold out hope that happens, or do you start to face the cold, sad reality?
3 days in Vegas, 4 days in Vegas.
There's always that light at the end of the tunnel in college basketball, but if you're telling me, do I think this team can win 3, let alone 4 games in a row? I don't.
I don't think they can win 4.
Sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming at you.
That's the truth. Catch the Sports Bar every day, Monday through Friday. They started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. JJ and I are with you for the opening drive, 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. The Benchwarmers code is Valentine, and then text TURBO to 62582 for your chance to win free TurboTax live for federal and state returns.